Hello. Today I'll be discussing ayahuasca, what it is, why people are attracted to it, why it's become uh, very trendy and hot as far as plant medicine, the past 5 to 10 years especially, and my quick experience with it. So ayahuasca is a brew. It's a psychedelic plant brew um, that tastes terrible, but obviously it's not for the taste. It contains the bee cappy vine, uh, which is people just call it the ayahuasca vine, which actually looks like two serpents intertwining, which is why the serpent might be the animal archetype of ayahuasca. Um, and the other ingredient is chacruna leaves, sometimes other DMT containing plants. And when you mix the bee cappy vine with the DMT, it allows it to be um, broken down much slower in your body. You can drink it. That's why you can drink it orally. And it lasts for like 4 to 6 hours. So if you were to smoke pure DMT, that's why it lasts for like 10 to 15 minutes, and it's done. And it's purely third eye, that experience. There's no emotional release or any kind of deep introspective work being done there. Um, so yeah, the bee cappy vine, the chacruna leaves, and then water, and it's just a brew. And when you ask the indigenous people of the Amazon, who taught you to make this? How did you think of this? They'll tell you the plants told them how to do it. So that doesn't help a lot of scientists, but lately it's taken on a lot more attention. So why is it used and why is it being used by many people in the West and all over the world now? Well, it's not like I said. It is extremely visionary, very beautiful, extremely ethereal, cosmic, Gaian, spiritual. Um, but they also call her Mother Ayahuasca. Ayahuasca is one of the largest religions in the world, as it's used all over South America and some other places. Um, in the West, we just do not recognize it as a religion because I don't know, I guess I couldn't tell you. Um, but it has unbelievable healing properties. Um, I was in the jungle in Iquitos, Peru, for about 4 months, and I went because I was dealing with a lot of depression and addiction issues some years ago. And it took me, I was doing 3 ceremonies a week. I was very nervous at first, um, having to deal with all of these feelings, having to face them and being shown them. But it had a real loving quality to it. It really wanted to help me. So hence plant teacher. And it, it it just comes and like cleans you on a level at your core that you didn't really think knew existed before. These things, these issues, these traumas, these things we go through and see in our lives, they stick to us as the electromagnetic beings we are. We like attract these things like magnets, whether they're good vibes of people or bad vibes of people, but negative energies. Certain actions can get stuck to us, stick to us, and affect our mentality and our perception of things. So that's something that ayahuasca does that other medicines don't do. Is it really comes and cleans you out of this stuff, and they also it's some people call it the purge too because a lot of people throw up, and it's actually very healthy and spiritually healthy to throw up because when you do, I've only thrown up twice and I've done many ceremonies. I'm just atypical, but it's like an explosion of all this emotional stressors, past ancestral traumas, and like when I've heard people throw up next to me in ceremonies, it sounds like it's coming from some alien place, like, and then they just look, feel, and have a totally different aura about them after. So it's really, it made me start really believing and researching magic. It's a very magical world that you become part of when you uh, get into this kind of medicine and places of consciousness. The things you see get you know inspire a lot of philosophical trains of thought. Um, So yeah, I was in the jungle for 3, 4 months. The first month and a half was really hard, letting go of things, a lot of crying. Then they became just so beautiful. Entities, ancestors, angels, beautiful architecture, palaces, and just laughter. Just pure, like, my cells and blood were just like vibrating with love. And like I was just being taken care of, and I knew I was being watched. Um, that's how that ended. And then I went back to the States and then realized something that helped me this much, if I can help others with it, that's what I wanted to do. I didn't want to do the corporate thing or anything like that. I found a real purpose. If something can help me, who I thought I was hopeless with my habitual ingrained patterns uh, that I seem destined to repeat until I, whatever. If this could help me like that, then I wanted to help others. So that's what I did. I went back to Peru to Cusco, which is not too far from Machu Picchu, and I trained with a couple shamans and assisted a little over 60 ceremonies, and I've seen people with all sorts of mental health issues, addictions, and just people curious about this realm that they've heard so much about. Um, so that was one of the coolest experiences of my life. The knowledge and wisdom and uh, kind of family vibe that ayahuasca community instills. It's really, really magical. It's like anybody that's suffering from chronic depression, where medicines didn't work and talk therapy and doctors didn't work, um, should definitely give it a shot. Addiction, if AA or things aren't seeming to click, I really implore people to look into this. And hopefully this was a good enough synopsis of ayahuasca, and check out my next video.